DJDUBLTV.
It's DJ Double here, and today with me in the building, Ironiks in the place.
Yes, my
DJ
bro.
Ironik or Ironic?
Boy, you know what? I think just ironic right now.
Just Ironic.
Yeah, when I'm in DJ mode, then it's
Yeah, I was gonna say you're in artist mode at the moment, so it's
Yeah.
just Ironic.
just ironic. You know what's weird though? Like when I see people out and that, they're like, "You ironic?" Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And then they're like, "What? DJ Ironic?" I'm like, "Yeah." There's not much difference between ironic and DJ Ironic, but yeah, I don't really mind, to be fair. But yeah, ironic right now, I guess.
Ironic's in the house.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your contribution to the UK scene
Yeah.
has been overlooked?
I was gonna say definitely. But I don't want to sound too. But yeah, I think so. I think quite a bit actually. A few years ago I didn't realize it, but now I'm getting older and I'm working on new stuff. I start to realize things a bit more and what I've done so far. Just even from the start, man. Just as a DJ, and then going into production and producing for all the people that I did in North London at the time.
Drop names, come on, just for the people that don't know.
I forget to mention all this stuff sometimes, so I'll drop some names, like people like Chip. Obviously, early on, he was recording at my studio when he was about 15.
Yeah, so this is like before the Westwood show, before like the infamous Wiley putting him on. You were recording with him, right?
Yeah, I was recording with Chip before he even met Wiley. So artists like Chip, and then there's like Black the Ripper from North London, and then there was like Crucial and Royal, all the grime lot that was around Terror Danger and Aftershock and all them guys at that time. And then even some, it was going on to like some, you know, some Crazy Titches younger artists with that. I think they were called Kids on the Block,
right?
At the time, and then working with them, and even P Money early on. So yeah, I've done all of that before anything else. But people forget about that, and then obviously going into the artist side and working with artists before they were signed, and then, you know, even getting artist deals behind the scenes people don't know about. Being instrumental in Wiley getting the deal with Wear My Rolex. He got signed to the same label as me at the time.
Oh, okay, so you instigated that.
A lot of that, yeah, of course.
I didn't know,
because that record got signed at the same time as Stay With Me. But they was like, "Yo, what's kind of hot right now? What kind of records should we be signing at the moment?" I said, "There's two artists that are," obviously they knew who Wiley was, but I said he's got some bangers out at the moment, and I was working with him for quite a bit, and they said, "All right, what's he got?" And then obviously he had a meeting with them, showed them Wear My Rolex, and yeah, it got signed. And then also McLean, who I was working with at the time, just got signed for a record called Broken. And yeah, man, all of that was going on, so people forget about that side of stuff before I was an actual artist as well. So.
Right, that's amazing. I actually had no idea about that. Wearing my Rolex thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I was around the whole time, even at the video shoot. I think he missed the first video shoot, you know why?
You're standard. Yeah.
But the second one, he invited me down. Was like, "Yo, you and your boys come down," and that. And yeah, it was cool, man. But
so was it you that introduced Wiley to Bless Beats? Because you and Bless made "Wanna Be Your Man" together, right?
I don't really like that remix, to be fair. It's probably one of the worst records I've ever done. Listening back, like, I find it cringy, but big up Bless Beats because he's a sick super producer. I don't think it was his fault. It's the chorus and all that I didn't really like. Yeah. But no, they was already working together from before that.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. They had Wear My Rolex and they was ready, but he didn't have a label to sign to yet, so
he instigated. Ironic, the A&R.
Boy, do you know what? That's what I'd love to do after all of this. And even my old A&R emailed me not long ago. He was like, "Remember, if you ever need to get into the A&R side of things, just let me know." So, boy, you never know,
bro. It sounds like you're born for it, man.
Yeah. Do you know what? I just love people, like, I love hearing artists before they come out. You know what I mean? Like, or if I find a song that ain't blown up yet, I like knowing that I heard it first. But it's about taking it and putting it into fruition, innit? So
yeah, and you do show love to a lot of artists, because you mentioned McLean just now. I remember the first time I ever heard McLean was on your album.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a completely separate track. It wasn't your track at all, was it? So it was just like it
was just his
like
song.
A track 9 or something was just his song. And I remember because I hadn't checked the track list, so I was just listening to it, and then suddenly this come on, and I was like,
without me on it,
right, bro, you've changed. Like, I had to check, and I'm like, hang on, this ain't. And then now it's McLean, so that was the first time I heard him as well.
We had a few tracks like that on the first album where it had artists artist songs on there, and I think that was the whole thing the label wanted to present at the time, like Ironik presents. And I think it was cause I'm a DJ and come from producing. They were like, maybe we should kind of what Khaled does now, but basically before. So,
wow. What was the moment that you realized like you were actually blowing up, like superstar status?
Like, because there's levels. That's what I'm saying. Like when I was producing, I was still kind of hot in North London. But do you mean like super
I mean, like
fun?
on a national level where you're like, yo, this is getting out of hand. This is crazy.
I think it was actually the week Stay With Me done really well actually, and it went to number 5. That week was very, I remember that week proper because it was in Newcastle. I had a show in Newcastle, and I think it was actually on Saturday night we had the show, and then I stayed over in Newcastle. So the Sunday was that was the day they announced the charts. And I remember they announced it was number 5 on the charts. I think I done a phoner interview to the chart people or whatever. And then me and my boys were just like, let's go shopping, man. Like, let's go celebrate, spend some money, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking I can walk around, go shopping, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just finding out on number 5. And then we walked around and that couple of people started noticing me. That's Ironik from Stay With Me on TV. Next thing you know, the whole shopping centre was mad. From there, we was like, all right, cool. This is different now.
Time to move differently.
Yeah, time to move differently. And they had to shut down the shopping mall, and they had to like take me out of the back, and it was all mad. But from that day, I remember that proper. Like that's the day when I thought, right, this is proper superstar craziness now.
Yeah,
it went from just normal to crazy.
I guess that's obviously before Twitter and Instagram and all of that stuff. So that's just people. Well, I don't know. Was like.
I don't know what they would even do. Yeah, why would they do?
Like, what year is that now?
No, that was 2008. So
camera phones are a thing. So people are still trying to get their pictures in that. It's not like old school autographs.
No, but there was still the autograph thing as well. It was like autograph or picture, one of the two.
Right.
I never understood the autograph thing. Like I started understanding the photo thing, obviously, but what are you gonna do with an autograph?
I don't know. I collect autographs. Yeah. But I mean, I collect them on records. Like, I get the artist to sign a vinyl. Or
but
on
paper, like, this is,
not on. I don't know. It's a bit,
you know,
on paper.
Yeah, but no, it was good, and that's probably the moment I realised that, and then we stopped going shopping malls.
It's mad. you were like amongst the first batch of UK like black artists or urban artists that really sort of opened doors for the whole. I don't like the word urban, but this, there's no other better word at the moment. So you open a lot of urban doors for urban to go through to the mainstream and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you were in the first batch, how did you know how to maneuver in terms of how much to sign the deal for, how much to start charging for live shows? And I don't know if you were charging for features back then, but how did you know like the pricing and stuff like that?
Well, we didn't. I'm gonna be real. Like I didn't have a clue. Obviously I had my mum as my manager then as well, so us together were learning things as we go along. And as for like charging for features, I ain't gonna lie, I only started doing that in the last year. I never knew I could do that, bro.
Right, okay.
Until the last year, my manager was like, yo, you're charging for all these features you're doing, right? I was like, what? I can charge for my voice. He was like, yeah, of course. I was like, but I'm a fan of music, so I just love just working with whoever, you know them ones. But yeah, in the business side, we just learned as we went along. We made a lot of mistakes. Even signing my first record deal, we made mistakes. Like now looking back. But I don't regret it because now I do regret obviously, but I don't really regret it because now you got like the Tiny Tempers and everyone who watched what we done, or myself and Tinty or whoever watched what kind of deals we signed and learned from that, and then kind of brought it to a bigger platform, and now they're turning it into businesses and things like that. So we kind of open the doors and also kind of just let people look at our mistakes that we made, them ones.
Yeah, so in terms of mistakes with the label, are you talking about that you could have charged them a lot more, or is it other more intricate like business details?
Probably just a bit of everything really. We could have got a lot more money out of it because at that time they were demanding to sign me. I wasn't going to a record label. I already had I was number 1 on Channel AK or Channel U for weeks. So they were calling my phone up like, we need this meeting next week. So I could have really demanded a bit more, I reckon. But yeah, we just kind of, at that time, like you said, no one else was getting deals. So we kind of took whatever would come. Them ones. Like there might have been one little negotiation, but for me, I was just excited and flipping gas to be signed,
Yeah.
And yeah, just hearing Atlantic Records or Warner Records calling you up, they want to sign you. For me, what I was going through my brain was like, Atlantic have worked with T.I. or Diddy, or do you know who, you know them ones? Man. So I was just thinking that obviously now it's different times and everyone's independent and it works, but at that time that's what it was about. So we made mistakes, but yeah, I think other people are learning from our mistakes. So
yeah, Dappy did a freestyle recently. He goes in like a lot of detail about stuff that he went through, especially in the younger early phase, where he talks about business managers, tour managers, and the people from the label really taking advantage. Looking back now, were you ever in a position like that where you're like, nah, they really took the mickey because I didn't know and I was young?
Yeah, everything Dappy said in that interview, even about putting his price down, and I mean in that freestyle. I can relate to. We went through all of that. Like I said, he was out at the same time as me, so we made all them mistakes, man. I had about 4 different tour managers when I first came out, man. Just because some were overcharging. I was finding out how much other artists are paying their tour managers, and finding out I was being ripped off here, there. And yeah, I was left in debt for a while, man. After the record deal kind of got blown over, and we kind of left the label, I was left in debt to the label, to managers, to old tour managers for a while, up until like 2013, man.
Wow, to that recently?
Yeah, definitely. And I've because we left the label because we didn't want to sign the next deal, because they were trying to make me go into a next direction.
Right.
So we ended it kind of like just like that. It was ended, and then I was left with, obviously I didn't sell the amount of albums that I was meant to sell, so I was left with paying back
off the original album.
Yeah, the first album. So
right.
Yeah, I just don't think it sold as much as they thought it was gonna sell. It sold alright. I think more than what people sell now, like 70,000, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was left in debt to them for about 4 or 5 years for a lot of money. And yeah, just we went through all of that, man. But you know, I think it's best that I went through that at that time, because now I'm older, I'm more wiser. Yeah. Just try and do my business a bit more better. And now I'm learning from people like Tiny Temper who might have learned from us. So
yeah,
it's weird. Yeah.
You at one point, I think it's safe to say, I mean, especially when, what was it? Stay With Me went to number 3, right?
Tiny Dancer went to number 3.
Tiny Dancer, sorry. And so you had 3 records in total that all charted top 40.
Yeah.
So they all made it onto the Sunday afternoon show.
I think I've had about 5 now.
Oh, okay,
5
right.
top 40s.
Sick.
And about 3 top 10s.
Yeah.
Because Falling in Love and all them records went into like number 35 and stuff like
right,
that.
Right, yeah. Sick.
But you know, when I was putting out records, people weren't really getting excited like that after a while. Do you know what I mean? It was just, Ironiks put out this record, it done top 40, You know, like now it's like a big deal to get in just in the top 40.
It was sort of standard for you.
It's like, yeah.
Here he is again.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a good time, man. It was a good time. So
looking at that there, where you basically release a song and it's kind of a given then that it goes into the top 40.
Yeah.
Would you say that was the peak for you in your career?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's definitely.
Do you think it will ever come back around to heights like that? And I don't mean necessarily charting top 40 with every single, because the rules are different. Everything's different now. But
success
in terms
level.
in terms of success.
I think so, but I look at success a tiny bit differently now. I think that was my prime, because obviously there was people going crazy for me, girls were going mad, and that was my
getting shut down.
Yeah. So success for me now might be success in a different way. Like I never got to tour then, so if I get to tour now, for me that's another thing that I never got to do before, and I would find that as a success, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like you said, I don't think charting and things like that now kind of matter as much as it did then, or you know, I don't think people care. I don't think it's cool to like put out top 10s and top 5s anymore. Yeah. People just want bangers, and they just want, you know, something they can vibe to. Because I even like Stormzy and Skepta, and they put out mad records and had a lot of success, and I don't think it was based on chart success, a lot of it. Do you know what I mean? So
no, I agree.
So I think I just look at success a bit differently now. But yeah, you know, and my aims are different now. Like I'd love to be like a massive international artist / DJ kind of thing, you know, at the same time, and still get back into production and things like that now. And just, I think just be more hands-on and just be taken a bit more serious as a musician and an artist and a DJ, rather than this superstar thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the goals are a bit different now, and going back to then, I feel like I achieved more than I ever thought I would ever do. So I there's no need for me to do that again, really. Do you know what I mean?
You've been there, done that.
Yeah, kind of. I never even thought I would do all of that. So for me, that was a blessing, and now I'm on to whatever else I need to do now. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the new album. Firstly, what's the label situation? Is this your own label setup, or are you...
I'm independently signed.
Okay.
To Creating Monsters, they're called. They're independent label. And we got a funder who helps out with the funds and helps out with the getting the PR and all that on top. But yeah, we got other artists signed to it. A singer called Alice Olivia and Scorcher. Currently signed, and myself, and yeah, I do help out as well in some of the A&Ring and trying to put out the releases, and that's why I'm so hands-on with this album release.
So more than just a signed artist, but not the label owner.
Yeah,
sort of in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, basically.
Got you. This is only your second studio album, right?
Yeah, second, boy.
Which is crazy. And how did you find now the process of putting this one together compared to when you put your first one together under a major label?
I felt it was much more easier now.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, because then I ain't gonna lie, like I listen back to that album and sometimes I think I wasn't really happy with the job.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of what happens when labels are involved. You don't have your say. And I was young. I didn't really get to push my opinion how I wanted to, and I was new. So I had A&Rs coming in. I had the label execs in the studio with me when I'm recording. Like,
oh wow,
you can imagine how like intimidating that can be for someone.
Yeah.
And they used to put me in these big massive studios. No offense to the label, because they done a good job, but just for me, I found it more awkward. That's not like how I like to record.
Yeah.
They put me in massive studios. It was awkward. It was intimidating. And they kind of just put a beat together and said, yo, you know, put me in studios with producers who I never really knew. And yeah, we just kind of made it. And then after I was like, yeah, this sounds all right. And then I'll change things here and there. But I wasn't as hands-on as I'd love to have been.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is just 100% me. There was no...
full creative control.
Yeah, full creative control. My manager's kind of had a say, but he's young like me, and he kind of thinks the same like me. We listen to the same music. So he kind of got my direction that I was going in. So I found the process easier now. No pressure, just having fun. And yeah, I think that comes out in the music as well. You can probably hear it. And you can hear how awkward I probably sounded in the first album as well.
I think if I go back and listen to it, now you've said that, I'll probably pick up on it. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think for me, this is probably my best body of work just because of that, because I just felt more comfortable.
Yeah. Did you have expectations before the album dropped? Like, were you like, right, I want to sell this much or get this many streams?
Not really sales. Streams I am looking into, because when I came out there wasn't no streams. It was iTunes or HMV or something like that. So I am kind of trying to get more into the streaming thing and get my audience kind of trying to back that. And it's a building process, so we're just gonna keep going with it. But I didn't have no expectations. I just wanted people to really listen to it, because I know for me as an artist, people refer back to my old music, and this music is nothing to do with my old stuff. It's the opposite, really, if you listen to it. So yeah, I just wanted people to pay attention. So, and that's why we had the Snoop Dogg record as the first kind of...
As the first single.
Yeah.
So why did you choose that single in particular to go out with? Was it to really sort of like...
Yeah, just
make a noise, basically, like, whoa, Snoop, Ironik, how did that happen? So, like, is that what it was?
I know most people would have got the song in their emails, probably even you, but you was with me when I got this.
Yeah.
But most people would have looked at it and saw Ironic, Snoop. What's that? That sounds mad. Like, how is that gonna even sound? So I knew, and plus the power of Snoop Dogg is amazing. Even I've seen it recently, like. People just paid attention more, and that's what made the most sense. It's not even the strongest record on the album, but it just made the most sense to go with that first. So
yeah. So talk about the backstory behind it, and how did Ray J instigate all of this?
Man, like Ray J's always involved in somewhere in the world.
His name, every story ever written
somewhere
has Ray J's name in there somewhere.
Yeah, do you know what? It's a proper random one. Like, my management were out in the US working on some stuff. They're working on signing actually a Ray J album, and to release it over here. And they're working on some other stuff over there with Chris Brown. And Chris Brown was meant to come to a studio session they had booked, but he didn't turn up.
With you?
No, not with me, just with Ray J's thing.
Okay.
And then Chris Brown didn't turn up because I think he had a fight with paparazzi or something, you know. Right. He's always in trouble somehow.
As you do, yeah.
And yeah, Ray J was basically proper apologetic. He was like, "Oh man, guys, I'm so sorry," because I think it was his first time having a meeting with them. And he was like, "Look, man, you know, Snoop Dogg's my cousin apparently, and he was
his uncle or cousin.
Something, yeah, they're related somehow." And he was like, "So, you know, I got these vocals of Snoop's that he was meant to use for something else. I don't think he's gonna use. I know you got an artist in the UK. Would he like to use them?" And I think, like 2 days before that, I called my manager. I said, "We need a big feature for this album. Like, that's what people want to see now. They want to see features, especially if they're gonna listen to me.
Yeah,
they're gonna want to hear other people working with me." And then literally 2 days later, he was like, "Yo, I got these Snoop Dogg vocals. If you want them for the album," and I was just said, "Yeah, that would be cool," but I didn't really take it in properly. You know them ones.
Yeah.
And then a day later, he said, "Yeah, check your email. The Snoop vocals are there." So I checked the email, took down the vocals, put it into my Logic. I was just listening to it, and then it kind of set in that this is Snoop Dogg, like listening to flipping Snoop.
So this was just a acapella?
Just all his vocal parts, like backing vocals, everything. Yeah. And it just kind of, I was just like, it was a bit surreal, to be fair, because I've been listening to Snoop from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you could hear him like in the background, like smoking, lighting it up before he does his verse, and him messing up, and even him trying out some singing stuff. It was cool, like to have all that. I still got some left as well. I might have to put together a next kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah. So and then I called my producers from Birmingham, Studio Pirates, and said, "Yo, I got these Snoop vocals. Do you want to work on it with me?" They were like, "Yeah." They came down to London. I added my part after, and then yeah, we sent it back over to America, and then they loved it apparently. So yeah.
Yeah, sick. How did you find building the song around an acapella? Because that's like the opposite of how music's made these days. Usually you have the beat and then the artist sits down and writes. But this way around, you have to build the entire song around. Yeah. And even to the point of you writing your lyrics, you're now already given the topic. Yeah. Here's what Snoop's talking about and the way he's flowing. Now you've got to build it. How did you find that?
That's the maddest thing. Most of it, because this was just a segment of his vocals. Most of the rest of it was about weed. Right. And I don't smoke, so
okay.
That had to go straight away, kind of, because I can't talk about smoking if I don't smoke.
Yeah,
kind of. So yeah, we had to cut it down, and we just selected parts of the vocals that we thought would sound good and that would make sense. Because we don't want to just put, you know what I mean, a load of vocals together.
Just for the sake of it.
Yeah, just for the sake of it. So we done that, and then I ain't gonna lie, like, I just got to credit Studio Pirates. Like, they done a sick job. They done it in about an hour, 2 hours. Just
nice.
Yeah, put together the beat, and the beat's sick as well. Putting it together, and yeah, it just kind of worked really. And I don't know, bro. Like, I swear, it just came naturally. Just the whole song, the whole process just came like it was meant to be. So
it doesn't sound like a forced record.
No, yeah, a lot of people said that.
It is, and without knowing the backstory, listening to it, you would be like, "Oh right, they actually made it." Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound like, "Oh, he just got a Snoop acapella."
Even the end bit with the back-to-back bit at the end.
Yeah. The whole thing from start to finish, man.
Sick.
In terms of your fan base, so obviously from the first album, those fans that you had and all the people that you had on lock then, are going to be older now. Yeah. And in some instances, some of them will have outgrown it. Do you know what I mean? They won't still be listening to the music there. Yeah. With this album now, have you found that a lot of the older fans have sort of come back and gravitated towards it, or have you had to kind of start again and capture new people?
I think a bit of both. I've noticed a bit of both. Like, I still have a core base of followers that still tweet me every week up until now. Like, they're always tweeting me, and because I think when I came out, they were young. They were younger than me. A lot of my fans were about 14 when I was 18. So they were all younger than me. So I think now they're probably about 23. You know, so it's not much older. They might be into the same stuff as me, or they might not be. They might just moved on from like music, like what you said, or have a family, whatever. But yeah, majority of them they're still into the same kind of vibe that I'm on. But yeah, just a bit more grown, and I would hope that they like the same kind of music as me. Like, as you can see, UK music is blown like all over the country now. So I'd hope that they like that kind of vibe. And yeah, but at the same time, I do want to, you know, introduce myself to new fans and a new audience that might not have known, or they might have known who I was, but you know what I mean, not been into my music before. Yeah. And like even before, a lot of my fans were girls. Even now, like there's a lot more of a male kind of fan base building up and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's about both, man. Just mixing the new and my original fans, really.
What you've done with this album is, like, from my perspective, you haven't changed what you do. You still make girl tunes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're not talking, it's like you said, you don't smoke weed, so you didn't do a song about smoking weed just because you had Snoop Dogg there. Like, you stayed still very honest, but you've updated the sound. So it still sounds like you, but it does sound like a 2017 version of You Should Sound. Do you know what I mean? That's what I got from the album.
That was my aim, so I appreciate that, bro. Yeah.
What's your favourite song on the album?
Boy, my favourite song changes a lot, but I think today my favourite one is Like That with Big Tobz.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was...
So that song really intrigued me because that one's like on a more personal level.
Yeah.
You're both talking about certain things.
Yeah.
So when I first heard it, I thought, did you choose Big Tobz because you've both been through similar situations with the stabbings and stuff?
Yeah.
Or did you both get together and then find common ground and be like, no, this is what we should address?
No, it was definite the first one. I had the song ready made and I recorded it, done, and then I was sitting back thinking, like most of the music I make, I always sit and listen to it and think, who would sound sick on this kind of beat? And I gotta lie, like I had thoughts of like putting Mist or someone like that on it. Like Mist would have sounded sick on the beat, I think. But then I think I was on my Twitter timeline. I saw Big Tobz was up to something. I thought, you know what, he would sound sick on this. And actually, it makes sense because his topic and my topic. Yeah. I read about what happened to him last year, and I just thought, you know what, that would make the most sense. So I hit him up, and I explained the whole thing to him. I said, this is what it's about. It's quite a personal one. Obviously, I know what you went through and that. And then he hit me up like a day later saying, "Yo, G, I got this sick. Let me come to the studio." So
sick.
Yeah, it made sense, man. And I'm glad actually I went for Big Tobz because even the verse, like you can hear he's talking that realness. So,
yeah, man, definitely. He's an artist I rate, man.
Yeah,
like
he's sick.
He's a very good dude as well.
Yeah, cool guy, man.
Runaway Girl was an interesting one.
Yeah.
What does your missus think about that?
Do you know what? I don't know, man. Do you know what I do? Yeah, a lot of music that I write, especially a lot of the girl songs, because even before when I was writing them songs like Falling in Love and stuff, like I weren't in love.
Yeah,
I was just writing scenarios, or I would see my friends in certain situations, and I would write about that situation. So, you know, this one in particular was a topic one of my friends and myself were talking about, and he was saying like he thinks this girl that he met years ago was the one that, and he's proper serious, like this is the one that he thinks he missed out on. I was like, that's mad. So I just went to the studio and kind of just wrote on that topic. But yeah, a lot of my music is just based on other people's lives.
Basically. Yeah. Did you have to explain this at home as well? Like, no, it's not me.
I haven't got another girl somewhere. Do you know what? She's understanding, luckily, and she doesn't even ever question my lyrics, you know, which is weird, isn't it? I've said a lot of stuff, really. But yeah, no, she was actually cool. She was cool.
Well, there's always the get out clause. It's just acting, you know. It's
it's just
an actor in a film. There's not a real sex scene, and these are just it didn't really happen.
But that's what it is, though.
No, please put my phone back down. It's fine. Like
that is what it is, because that is ironic writing that. That's not, you know what I'm saying, James. Writing that. So it's like that's my job.
I believe you, bro. You've got that down to a T, man. That's perfect. The record Everyone Falls in Love.
Yeah.
Let's talk about sample clearance.
Yeah.
Was that a headache?
Big up Scholar. Well, first of all, it wasn't a sample. We got someone to re-sing it.
So it's called interpolation, right?
Yeah.
So there's still royalties due, though.
Yeah. So I'm with Sony ATV with my publishing, and they handled all that situation. So it wasn't too much of a headache, really, because we done that record early on. And they kind of had that situation sorted out. So yeah, that was cool. But yeah, if it was a full-on sample, then it probably might have been a bit more harder to get on that album. But yeah, big shout out to Scholar and production on that one, man. That's a lot of. Do you know what that reminds a lot of people? They said that of my original kind of music, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So. Did you make that song before Tory Lanez dropped his record?
No, after actually.
Was that what inspired it to use that?
Not really. Do you know what? Like, I thought that when I made the song, like Tory Lanez has already done this, so I don't know about it. But people are acting like they haven't heard the Tory Lanez one. Like, people go on my Snapchat and say like, "Where's that? So I love that song. That song." Like they've never heard the original, so I'm confused. But yeah, no, I was after the Tory Lanez one.
Right. Okay. Well, they sound completely different.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
yeah. But he's already done that. Yeah. Everyone for us.
Yeah, he snagged it just before. Same with Mercy as well.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the song. Shy Guy, isn't it?
Oh, the original?
Yeah, Shy. It's the original is called Shy Guy. I can't remember the name of the artist. It's irrelevant, to be fair. That's another, obviously, you had someone singing it, so it wasn't a sample.
No.
Sony just sorted that out.
Yeah, all of those ones, they kind of been really helpful with sorting out, so... yeah, that's been cool, man. And that record's been out for a while now, so we had time to sort that out before the album came out. So
how much did the whole project cost to make?
You know, the most pricey thing was sorting out the Snoop Dogg side of things. You know, getting Snoop Dogg to tweet about things and he put out videos promoting the single and getting him to kind of cooperate. I think that was the most difficult part and probably, you know, the most expensive part probably. Yeah. Because Americans charge for these things, man.
Mate, they know their business. They know their business. They're charging for features.
I only learned about the feature charging. I'm learning about the tweet charges.
Yeah. You can learn a lot from Uncle Snoop, man, trust.
Yeah. But, no, I think all that and then the PR kind of stuff costs a bit. But we didn't really... We've been kind of relaxed with the spendage. So I think, just the start of it was the main bit. So getting Snoop on, solidifying his side of things are cool. Getting the PR in place and all that. And that was really it, really. That's all we really had to put money on. Yeah. So, yeah.
Is this an album that you're looking to, like, recoup on, or is it just a body of work that you're putting there to kind of solidify the Ironik brand in 2017 and almost like a new chapter, like this is the start of this part of the journey? Do you know what I mean? Is that more the case of it, or is it an album that you recoup it all?
That's definitely the case, man. Just to put a stamp back, man. You know, for the last few years I've just been sitting back thinking like, where's my position in this game? And for years, like you said, people forget about my name a lot of the times when they mention, and even the early on stuff when they mention Tinchy or whatever, sometimes a lot of the time they forget me. So I think for me, it's about coming back and making sure they don't forget me. I think that's the only thing I can do, rather than sitting back and moaning about it. Just come back out, put out good music, put out bangers, and just make sure people don't forget about you. And just like you said, start a new chapter. And yeah, this will be the start of it all, man. It's definitely not about the money, because I probably won't see any of that anyway, because it's the investors and stuff like that. But and hopefully tour. Like I said, for me, touring is one thing I never got to really do. So I'd love to do that properly, like do my own tour.
Being a DJ really helps as well.
Yeah, exactly, of course. And obviously you got Craig David and Charlie Sloth and them other DJs doing a DJ tour involved with it. So yeah, I'd love to do something like that. But yeah, like I said, man, for the last few years I've just sat back, studied the game, and just been trying to figure out where I can place myself. And I think we've done a good job. I wouldn't have wanted the album to sound any other way, man.
If you could have anyone, dead or alive, on there for a feature, who would you put?
Do you know what? There's a few. Alicia Keys is one.
Okay.
I would love to work with Alicia Keys. I choose different artists, you know, as you can see, from Elton John to Snoop Dogg. Alicia Keys is one. Adele would be dope one day. And Drake would be sick one day. And yeah, I think that's about it, man. Maybe in the UK, like someone like Kojo Funds would be sick in the future.
Okay, yeah.
And me and Chip, I think, need to do something again as well, man. We ain't done something in a while, so...
Yeah, definitely.
But some of them artists I mentioned, I don't think we would make the same kind of music anyway. Like, Drake makes total different music to me, so I don't know what we would make.
It's got to be a girl tune, man. I can hear like a controller or something, something along them lines.
Something wavy like that. And then Chip is kind of in a different boat right now to me. I think he's on the grime kind of stuff.
I don't know, because he has made like his newest album. It's got that, that snap and stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be sick.
I could hear you and Young'un doing something. Yeah, see, that's the thing as well. And true. I think we've had this conversation during the summer. Yeah, Young'un's like the Ironik for now. Yeah, for what you were doing back then.
Yeah, someone said that the other day.
It's kind of what Ironiks, what Young'un, is doing now.
Yeah. I can see that. He's got the young girls going mad. Is he shutting down the shopping malls though? Is he shutting them down? No,
I don't know if he's got the shopping malls on smash yet.
I've met him once at the Mobos, and he was proper like, "Oh, yo, pleasure to meet you and stuff." But I've never really sat down and had a conversation with him. But yeah, man, that would be sick. Me and Young'un, I think that would be legendary for the ladies. Yeah, if we done something.
That would be a serious shopping mall shutdown, mate. Like, imagine that. I can imagine you guys performing into Watford to debut the new.
Yeah, come on, that would be mad. But yeah, big up Young'un, man.
Big up Young'un. One more thing about the album: producers. Who you mentioned some producers already, but who were all the producers involved? And did you make any of the beats?
Nah, I didn't do any production. I do have quite a lot of say on production, so I always try and give a direction. I don't know, you call it co-production or something, but I always give a direction to the producers I'm working with. So there's Jojo F, who's a producer from Southampton that I've been working with for a while. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's sick,
you introduced us in Cos actually.
Oh yeah, I remember
5-6 years
ago. And he was out there with his boys.
That's right.
Yeah. A big shout out to Jojo. He's doing his thing, and he done the Mercy track and stuff. And then there's a producer, a young kid from Scotland called Rollout Productions.
Okay.
He's dope. I just found him online, and I found him on SoundCloud. Just hit him up, and then he's got Fecky on a song with me, and he was gassed. He's just some kid in Scotland, like but he was happy. And then Roundtree Productions. He does a lot of stuff for Mist and Jay Harson. He done Big Tobz records. Obviously AO Beats, who I think is doing really sick at the moment with production, and his choruses. He wrote a couple of the records on there. The chorus on Watch Not Inc. and Danny G. He's a producer from out of London. Mostly up and coming, man.
Pressure now. Don't forget anyone.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. But yeah, a lot of them are just up and coming producers who I've come across, man, and just whatever. And even some of the features. I know there's some big features, but there's also some good up and coming artists, man, on the album. Icy Stanley from Coventry. So,
yeah, there's a lot of features on the album. I think there's only 3 tracks without features, but I kind of like that about it because, like you say, you've got the Fecky in there, you've got Big Tobz, but then you've also got other artists that haven't like fully blown yet. So,
and like you said, from the first album, I've been doing that. So now I still want to carry on doing that.
It's the A&R in you, bro. I'm telling you.
When I quit, that's my next job.
Yeah, that's it. So, what's the next move for Ironik now? Gonna set up a tour. Yeah,
that's my plan, man. We had the album launch a few weeks ago and it went really well. It was a packed out show. And for me, like I was just feeling so humbled and grateful that people came out, 8 years after my first album just to hear this new stuff.
Yeah.
So I was really happy, and from there I was like, yo, we gotta set up something, even if it's just 100 capacity venues around the country. Promote and showcase the album. So my management said, yeah, let's do that next year, April or May. So that's the plan. And also we just shot the video for the Snoop one, which is gonna be sick.
Snoop in the video.
Snoop's in the video.
You got Snoop in the video.
But wait, there's a catch.
It's an animated video.
It's an animated video. And he's in it though.
Yeah,
but it's mad. It's a movie. Put it that way. We shot it at East London Studios, and that should be dropping anytime soon. And then we're gonna shoot the video with Fecky in the next few months and with AO Beats, and keep it moving, man. Keep promoting it. I feel like music comes and goes too quick these days, but I wanna keep pushing this album. There's still a lot of people that don't know I have a new album out, so I need to keep working it.
Make some more noise.
Yeah, and that's it. And then I still want to start on the next project soon as well. So.
Sick.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff. Well, listen, man, thanks for passing through.
My bro.
The album's sounding good. It's out there right now.
Right now.
DJ Double here with Ironik.